Hello guys. In the previous part, we have seen that Yao's boss Qian starts living with her in same apartment. Both of them go on a business trip together where they have a lot of fun. And then they have returned back to China. Now, we see that when Shi comes to meet Qian, she thanks him saying, "Thank you so much for everything. I have a gift for you, which I hope will help with your insomnia. It's meant to ensure your peaceful sleep." Qian, feeling quite embarrassed, replied, "You don't need to thank me. I respect you a lot because you were my senior in university." Shi smiled and said, "Your kindness is so great that if I ever get a chance to help you in life, I would be very happy to do so." Later, Wu Jun arrived and confronted Qian. "What did you think? That I wouldn't find out you went to dinner with Shi? Are you my friend or an enemy? What did you talk about?" Qian teased back, "It's not just that. Look, she gave me a gift that I will never give you." Wu Jun, starting to blackmail Qian, said, "You just let go of such an important client. Now I have to handle everything. Have you forgotten about the Mr. Tang case?" Qian replied honestly, "Actually, Mr. Tang was such a despicable person. He did misbehave with Changshu's sister Yao. That's why I beat him up and canceled the contract." Wu Jun, angrier than said, "How dare he? I will sue him until he goes bankrupt." Qian responded, "I don't want that at all. Yao wants to forget this incident. By doing such things, we can't keep reminding her of it. It will also negatively impact her image." Meanwhile, she arrived home and Ming confronted her. "Where do you go every day dressed in such nice clothes? Who are you trying to impress? You're a divorcee who is already outdated. Wu Jun is only with you for enjoyment. Do you think he will marry you? He will use you and then throw you away. If there is anyone suitable for you, it's only me." Shi, getting angry, started recording Ming and said, "I'll call the police if you don't stop." Ming snatched the phone from her, fought with her, and left. When Yao returned home, she found the toy that Qian had given her as a gift lying outside her room. Surprised to see that Qian was back and seemingly planning to stay the night, Yao said, "Boss, if you had informed me in advance, I would have cooked for you." The next day, Yao told her colleagues. The boss mentioned he might hold a team-building exercise for a few days, making her colleagues very happy. They soon found out that the opponent lawyer in Yao's case was Mr. Feng, her ex-boss. Yao thought, this is a good opportunity for revenge. At court, Yao's presence surprised Mr. Feng, who belittled her. However, Qian was impressed by how Yao handled the case, easily defeating Mr. Feng. As she was leaving, Yao discovered her mom had arrived. Yao saw Qian standing in front of her mom and she joined him. Her mom initially thought Qian was Yao's boyfriend, but Yao clarified, "No, he is my boss." And Qian confirmed this. Despite their explanation, her mom was unconvinced and said, "Does a boss really stay with an employee? And if he's not your boyfriend, then his staying with you isn't appropriate. Get him out of here." Yao tried to calm her mom, saying, "Yes, mom, we were trying to hide it from you. He is indeed my boyfriend," while continuing to apologize. Qian looked on as Yao spoke. Her mom takes her aside and says, "You have become quite bold, living in a relationship without informing me." Yao then finds a way to take her mom outside, as it was time for her to leave. Once outside, she says, "Actually, my boyfriend is a poor guy. I thought you wouldn't approve, so I kept it a secret." Her mom wasn't pleased to hear this, but she quietly left. When Yao comes back upstairs, she finds Qian very angry. She then apologizes to Qian as well, saying, "Boss, I lied without your consent, but can you now act as my boyfriend in front of my mom for a while?" The next day, Qian went to a meeting with a client. Afterward, he messages Yao to meet him at a place. Yao is quite happy about this, but then she gets a call from Ting Ting, who is crying a lot and calling her urgently. Yao becomes very worried and immediately goes to meet her. She finds out that Ting Ting had a fight with her husband, suspecting that he is cheating on her. Yao advises, "Your delivery is coming up soon. You should stay away from such tensions and worries. So please, calm down." Meanwhile, Qian waits for her, having ordered double the food. Now Qian has to eat alone in silence. When Yao returns home, she sees that Qian is angry, but he pretends to be normal, as if nothing matters. Then Yao explains all her troubles to him, and he says, "All right, but I'll forgive you on the condition that you come for a massage with me." It seems that the massage is not for relaxation, but as a form of punishment, because while Qian is enjoying a nice massage, Yao finds it very rough and tough. As they are both coming out, Yao's mom and dad see them together, and she tells her dad that this is the poor guy Yao has made her boyfriend. But Yao says, "We came here to discuss work." Now, she takes her mom and dad aside, and meanwhile, Qian passes by. Her mom spots Qian and starts to think that her son must be doing something wrong. He doesn't have time to meet her, but has time to go to a massage center late at night. Qian then heads home alone, and her mom starts following him in a car. The next day, she changes her getup and keeps an eye on her son, seeing a girl with him. This makes her realize that Her has secretly gotten a girlfriend and is in a living relationship. Then she also follows them to the supermarket and sees them buying groceries together. This means their relationship has progressed quite far. Dad also enjoys listening to all these reports. In the next scene, Yao is cooking at home and Qian is working. At that moment, Qian goes to the kitchen to get something and some sauce stains his clothes. Now, his shirt is dirty. Yao tells him, "Boss, take off your shirt, I will wash it." As soon as he takes off his shirt, her mom enters the house. Seeing them like this, she must have started to think all sorts of things. They both say they are ready to explain, but the mother says, "You can only explain if something is fishy." "Well, I have no objections. It's fine that you chose this girl. Although you are a very sincere person, your eyes are very sharp." She then tells Yao to come see her alone at this place tomorrow afternoon. The mother had practiced a lot of acting, and when she meets Yao, she says, "My son is very rich. How much money would you take to leave him?" She starts making offers, 5 million, 8 million, and it eventually goes up to 10 million. Yao, however, declines and says, "There is no such thing. I am not interested in money. And let me clarify that Qian is only my boss and our relationship is just that we share a house." The mother asks why she is sharing with him, and Yao explains that she doesn't have enough money to live separately. Today, Qian's mother had called him home under the pretext of having fallen down the stairs. He goes upstairs to his mother, who starts her acting. At the same time, she had also called Yao to her house. Yao arrives, and the mother makes them hold each other's hands and starts acting as if she is on her deathbed, asking them to promise to take care of each other. But after a while, Qian recognizes his mother's acting, and the mother then says, "Yao truly loves you. I tested her yesterday, and she turned down 10 million in your love. Look, where else will you find such a girl? She is a gem and deserves to be my daughter-in-law. So stop hiding and accept that you two are in a relationship." But Qian can't listen to anymore and starts to leave. The mother stops Yao for girls' talk. She then tries to persuade Yao alone, but Yao insists that there is nothing between them and he is only her boss. The mother then says, "Fine, then you'll work for me because we are friends now. Convince my son to choose a daughter-in-law for me. Prepare him for a blind date." She puts on such an innocent face that Yao can't refuse. Meanwhile, Shai finds out that someone is secretly clicking her photos. She snatches the memory card from the person, and he runs away. When Shai returns home, she finds some gifts left. She throws them in the garbage, but just then, Woo Jun arrives and says, "I sent these for you." He explains that she is very important to him and that he has become strong enough to protect both himself and her. "Why are you afraid of anyone?" But Shur tells her to stay away and leaves. Now, she looks at the photos of herself and Woo Jun, which the photographer had taken together. She listens to the recording of her ex-husband's voice, where he says she is divorced and that Woo Jun does not deserve a second-hand lady. Meanwhile, Qian's mother is shown, who is very lively and seems to rule the house. She has prepared a file with the help of Dad, containing biodata of many girls to choose a future daughter-in-law. Meanwhile, Yao has been given coupons that were meant to be given to Qian for a blind date trap. At the same time, Yao's parents arrive and say they want to meet her and her boyfriend for dinner, but Yao lies and says he is at a business trip. They think he just got a job and now has a business trip too. Then Yao get an emergency email from the office. She leaves, and her parents see the buffet coupons. They are pleased, thinking Yao kept them for them, and they take them and leave. In the evening, Yao shows Qian the menu, saying how great this new restaurant is with fantastic seafood. She suggests they both go. However, she notices the coupons are missing. Qian immediately agrees and says there's no need for coupons. They will go together. He thinks that since she invited him to dinner, it means she has feelings for him. He also starts thinking about what to wear for their first date. The next day, he's dressing up in model-like clothes. While waiting for Yao, another girl arrives and sits in front of him. The girl says, "You are Jun Hang's lawyer, right? Your mother sent me here." Qian realizes he has been trapped. As he is about to leave, the girl says, "It seems you couldn't handle my attitude. You were going to fall for me, so you're leaving now." To prove this wrong, Qian sits back down. But while he is sitting, Yao's parents arrives and see him on a blind date with someone else. They scold him, saying, "Our daughter gave you shelter. You bought these clothes with her money, and now you're cheating on her and throwing water glasses in his face." The girl feels deceived and says, "I heard he was very rich. It turns out he's a street dog, living off his girlfriend's money." She also leaves angrily, throwing red wine at him, ruining his lovingly chosen clothes. When Qian was out, Yao went into his room and hid a magazine under his pillow. But at the last moment, Qian comes back upstairs and catches her in the act. When he sees the magazine, it turns out to be very provocative. Yao is standing there, and Qian says, "Okay, I understand. At your age, it can be hard to control your emotions and hormones sometimes, but you need to learn to control yourself. I may be handsome, but a girl coming into a boy's room and behaving like this is not appropriate at all. I didn't think you would act this way." Yao tries to appease him, saying, "Sir, please have the soup. I made it for you. Sorry, just drink it." The soup was actually made by his mother and was made with an herb that boosts male hormones. Seeing this, both Yao and Qian feel very awkward. At that moment, Yao gets a call from Ting Ting. Ting Ting is pregnant but is drunk and very distressed. Yao immediately leaves to meet her. Qian follows her and offers to drop her off. Ting Ting was about to attempt suicide, but Yao arrives to save her. Ting reveals that her husband is cheating on her with a mistress and has told her that he doesn't want their twins. Yao gives Ting her coat, and Qian gives her his coat. They go to the hotel where Ting's husband is supposedly staying. Ting goes inside with Yao and they have a fierce confrontation. Yao says, "If you haven't touched Ting, I will sue you because she is pregnant." But Ting's husband says that Ting caused him a lot of depression, and it was this girlfriend who helped him out of it. "I want to be with her now and loves her." The mistress also says that Ting has invaded my privacy, taken secret photos, and circulated them in my office. I will sue on her. After the fight, when they come out, Qian is still standing outside by the car, waiting for them. Ting had quite a problem here. She couldn't even go back to her home. So Qian and Yao arranged for her to stay in a hotel. Now, when Qian was sitting in the car, Yao came over with a box of porridge and said, "You haven't eaten anything all day. Please eat this, or you'll end up with an empty stomach and start feeling unwell again." But Yao didn't believe that he would eat it. So she turned on a private broadcasting room, which after putting in a password, only Yao could view. But actually, Qian made a mistake and forgot to put a password on it, so the live stream could be seen by everyone who was added to Yao's WeChat. At that time, the colleagues working overtime in the office also watched the video together and were surprised. Everyone started to suspect that there must be something suspicious between Yao and the boss. They might be in a secret relationship. On the other hand, Yao also found out and saw people's messages. She was shocked, and Qian found out too. She ran downstairs to Qian, but by the time she reached the car, he was already asleep. She didn't disturb him, but instead put on headphones and started watching that video where he looked quite cute. After watching this video, she started seeing the Qian and thought, "My boss not only has a great personality, but also a handsome face." But as soon as she started praising him, Qian woke up. Yao was happy that he hadn't heard her comments. Actually, Qian was also concerned about Yao. He had bought a bread for her, but lied, saying he had bought it from a passing seller. Yao said, "You've helped me so much today. I want to treat you to dinner." But he said, "No, I don't want to go anywhere." As soon as she said, "I'll cook dinner for you at home," he immediately got ready. But when she reached home, she found that the groceries were finished and there were only noodles and eggs. She tried to convince him to eat noodles, but the boss said, "Looking at my personality, it seems like I eat junk food." Not at all. But she ended up sitting in front of Qian, enjoying her spicy noodles. Qian, who was hungry, unable to resist, and he asked, "Are there any more noodles?" But Yao started teasing him, saying, "Boss, do you want to stain your noble personality with junk food?" Not at all. In the end, Qian had to ask, "Please make one pack for me too." She happily went to prepare it, saying, "Sometimes you should eat such food." Well, the next morning, they both were going to the office together, but Yao was very concerned about her image and the gossip, so she said, "Boss, people will gossip, so please drop me off a little earlier than the office." But Qian made excuses, saying the weather was bad and it would rain, even though it was sunny. Nevertheless, Yao got out halfway. Meanwhile, we see the lawyer Ming, who received a call from a client saying, "I want to withdraw my case from you. You are not capable of being a lawyer, especially in divorce cases." He was extremely distressed and asked what happened. He found out that she had recorded an audio of him speaking badly about divorced women. His business involved daily interactions with divorced women. This could create a huge controversy for his. So he immediately went and started knocking on Xu's door. As soon as he entered, he started arguing with her, thinking that she had the authority to demand the original files. But Shai said, "These are your own words. If you look down on others, that's your fault, not mine." So, he continued, "All right, you don't care about yourself, but at least care about Yao." He started giving signals that he could harm Yao. While they were fighting, an aunt came to Xu's house to discuss a case with her. Ming then left. Meanwhile, Ting was very troubled. She didn't have much money and asked Yao, "You're also a divorce lawyer, so please handle my divorce case." Yao then went to Qian with this request. Qian said, "You can't bring your emotions into this case. Besides, I don't think this case will be as easy as you think." But Yao said, "Boss, with your guidance, I'm sure I can win this case. I've learned to set aside my emotions." When Qian agreed to take the case, Yao was very happy. Actually, Ting wanted to regain the house she had bought with her husband for her children. Yao reassured her, "Don't worry, your children will be in a good place. Just take care of him." The next day, Qian's mother came to the office and took Yao aside, saying, "You failed in the last mission." She then asked Yao to look at the girls and see which one would suit her son for a blind date, saying, "My son is successful, but his IQ is high. He doesn't know how to romance or make girls happy." Yao responded, "That's not true. Qian is a great person with a wonderful personality." Then Mom was very pleased and said, "Beauty is in the eye of the beholder." Actually, she wanted to hear Yao express interest in her son, but Yao denied it, saying, "No, I can't be interested. He's my boss, and I'm just a subordinate." To counter the previous compliments, Yao started saying he was very sharp-tongued, prone to anger, and she even called him a poisonous and toxic person. At that time, Qian arrived and overheard part of the conversation. After his mother left, Yao stood in front of Qian, who was demanding an explanation. He was very upset that Yao thought of him this way. He gave her a chance to explain, but Yao couldn't defend herself properly. In the end, Qian became so angry that he kicked her out of his office. When Yao went home, she was very upset. She decided to make his favorite dinner to cheer him up, but by the time she finished, Qian hadn't returned for a long time. Poor Yao had fallen asleep waiting. When Qian returned home from the office quite late, he threw his bag on the table, waking Yao. She told him, "Dinner is ready for you," but he said, "I'm moving out now. I don't need any dinner or anything. The moving company will probably come by tomorrow and take my stuff away." Yao didn't try to stop him. Instead, she said, "Sir, it's good. You'll be living in your luxury villa now instead of this small house." Qian had been hoping that she would try to persuade him to stay, but Yao did nothing of the sort. He angrily said, "I'll take the toy I gave you with me," and Yao still didn't say anything. Qian was very upset and woke up Wu Jun, starting another discussion, but then scolded him and made him go back to sleep. A little later, Qian and Yao faced each other in the house, but quietly went their separate ways without speaking to each other. The next day, Yao was very sad at the office and stayed very late. She thought, "I won't go home until Qian takes his stuff and leaves." Meanwhile, Qian was hoping that Yao might come back and stop him, thinking he couldn't leave without seeing her. He kept the delivery boys waiting there for 30 minutes just out of anticipation. Finally, they leave with the goods. Yao had returned home quite late today. As soon as she entered, she saw Qian's room, which was now completely empty and bare, and she appeared quite sad. Furthermore, when she looked at her filled refrigerator, she wondered for whom she would cook dinner. So she ended up making instant noodles and watched TV. On the other hand, Qian was shown sitting in his luxurious villa. He rarely watched TV, but today he was watching a TV series, and he had also kept Yao's toy. But after a while, realizing how childish he was being, he put the toy aside. The next day, when Qian goes to the office, he stands near Yao's desk for a while and notices her lunchbox. When lunch break arrives, Yao's colleague, Bao, who was alone, notices that everyone else has brought their lunch. Before Bao can join Yao for lunch, Qian stops him and tells Yao that she cannot have lunch right now because there is a very confidential document that needs to be picked up directly from the client. Yao thinks she'll take the lunchbox with her and eat on the way, but Qian insists that he will also provide a meal from the company. Bao then takes Yao's lunchbox and she leaves while Qian's VIP lunchbox arrives. Qian gives that lunchbox to Bao and takes Yao's lunchbox for him. Bao is delighted, saying that his boss must really care for him, that's why he gave him VIP lunchbox. Qian was enjoying Yao's homemade food, which he always found delicious, and reminiscing about her. Wu Jun approached him and said, "I've noticed a big change in you. You used to have trouble sleeping, but now you sleep soundly and can't tolerate any noise while working. Have you fallen in love? Is there a romance or secret relationship with Yao? If there is, you need to inform me because she will become my sister-in-law." He also asked for a spare key to his villa, saying, "I might need to visit, and I'd rather not bother anyone." It turned out that Wu Jun wanted the key because Qian's birthday was next week, and they were preparing a surprise party. Wu Jun, along with colleagues including Yao, was organizing it. Later, Yao called Qian and said, "I need to discuss something important, even though it's the weekend. Can we meet?" Qian immediately shared his location with her. The next day, he was ready and eagerly waiting to find out what Yao wanted to discuss. When Yao arrived dressed beautifully, Qian opened the door and began, "We need to discuss something private or work-related." Yao replied, "Private?" Qian responded, "Yes, I know. You want to tell me that after I left, the house felt empty. No matter how lovely you dress up, I am not coming back to your house. You should have stopped me earlier." But before Yao could respond, the entire staff, who had come for the surprise birthday party, stood behind her. Seeing this, Qian's mood worsened further. Qian tried to scold Wu Jun, saying, "Why did you bring all these people here? They need to rest on weekends." But the employees cheerfully responded, "We feel refreshed just seeing your house." They started the party, which Wu Jun had planned, but it became a bit of a disaster because it was very hot that day. After that, they, sitting on the garden, decided to order pizza and eat inside. Before the pizza arrived, Qian took Yao inside to escape the heat, saying, "Come inside. I need you to handle some changes in the agreement." He took her to his study room, which was cooler compared to the rest of the house. The rest of the guests eventually went inside when the pizza arrived. It was revealed that Wu Jun had arranged this entire surprise to invite Chang Shi on Qian's behalf. Wu Jun said, "I tried to meet her, but she never comes. So I used your excuse. Aren't you my brother?" Qian showed him a message saying, "Look, she declined and even wished me a happy birthday in the message." Wu Jun's mood dampened. Qian then goes to the study to sit. He was actually there to keep an eye on Yao and was holding a book upside down. Yao says, "Sir, you are holding the book upside down." But he lies and says, "Only the cover is upside down, the book is right inside." After a while, he turns the book right side up while avoiding eye contact with Yao. Yao falls asleep, and then she wakes up and goes to get a gift for the boss. When she returns, she says, "Boss, I have specially prepared this gift for you." She hands it to him and leaves. Qian, alone, excitedly opens the gift and finds a bottle and a card that says, "I love you and I want to make babies with you." He thinks, "This girl is so bold. I didn't expect this." After a while, Qian goes outside and finds out that Wu Jun has been drinking. Qian says, "I think the party should be over now," but Wu Jun insists, No, why don't we play hide and seek today?" All the lawyers are also ready for this game. Wu Jun assigns the task, "Your boss, Qian, will hide. Whoever finds him will get $10,000 as a reward." Everyone goes inside to search for Qian, but they can't figure out where he might be. Meanwhile, Yao recalls that Qian had once told he that there is also a rooftop where Qian enjoys sitting. Yao immediately heads to the rooftop. Meanwhile, in their office, two lawyers named Yu and Tang seem to be getting closer. Qian is actually sitting on the rooftop, reminiscing about the times he spent with Yao, including when they once relaxed on the balcony. As soon as the door opens, Qian is surprised to see Yao, just as he expected. Yao walks in and says, "Boss, no matter where you hide, I will find you everywhere." These words touch Qian's heart. Just as he is about to say something romantic, Yao interrupts, saying, "I have won $10,000, and then goes on to make the announcement. Wu Jun gives Yao the $10,000 prize, and then Qian tells her, "So okay, you are the winner. I will grant you one wish. Whatever you ask for, I will fulfill." He hopes that she will either say something romantic or ask him to move back home, but Yao says, "Please, boss, increase my salary." Upon hearing this, Qian becomes angry and says, "Keep dreaming." Just then, the cake arrives, and during the cake cutting, Qian makes a wish and everyone appears quite happy. Everyone was drinking, and it seems that Yao had a bit too much. She starts giving a speech while drunk. She says, "I want to thank my boss, Qian. When I first met him, I found him very annoying, but after some time, I realized how qualified he is." When she gives a toast to her boss, Qian's clothes get dirty. Qian, seeing her drunk, quietly excuses himself to change his clothes. Qian goes inside and starts thinking, "For the gift you gave me, I forgive you, Yao." Meanwhile, the other lawyers joke around and ask their boss, Wu Jun, "We heard about a lawyer named Liang from your university. It seems like you used to follow her around during university. Is that true?" Wu Jun replies, "I could never do such things. I was very serious about my studies. Maybe Qian did that." Meanwhile, Yao goes to Wu Jun privately and asks about Qian's childhood. Were there bullies who bothered him? Wu Jun is surprised and asks, "How do you know this?" At this moment, Qian comes up and, seeing Wu Jun talking to Yao alone, calls him over. All the other colleagues had already left. Qian starts talking to Wu Jun, saying, "Keep a distance from female subordinates because I think someone has fallen for me, and it's one of our colleagues." Hearing this, Wu Jun says, "You should drink less." Qian, feeling that talking to him is pointless. Then, we are introduced to two other characters, Tang and Yu, who finally become a couple today. Qian, when going to bed, thinks, "How bold has Yao become? She told me something so significant. She used to be shy about saying things face to face. Maybe she couldn't say it directly and wrote it down instead. As soon as Qian lies down to sleep, Yao comes and sits on his bed saying, "Boss, I want to give you a baby." Hearing this, Qian feels embarrassed and realizes he is not ready for this. As Yao gets upset and starts to leave, Qian falls off the bed trying to stop her, only to realize that it was all a dream. Meanwhile, Yao wakes up in the middle of the night, drinks water, and remembers, "I told Qian so much while drunk and spilled drinks on his clothes. I hope I won't be fired for this." The next morning, Qian was going to send a message to Yao about work, but immediately remembers the gift and the card. He feels awkward and quietly goes to the office, wearing sunglasses again. After a while, Wu Jun tells him, "Today, I have arranged a lecture for all employees on how to balance their love life and work." Later, Yao arrives and says, "Sorry I'm late." She was about to attend the lecture, but Qian stopped her. He didn't want to hear anything against office romance. But Wu Jun forces her to go there and says to Qian, "I will help you with your work." So, Qian arrives there. The lady was criticizing how office romance has many drawbacks. Qian interrupts her and says, "It doesn't matter. If your lover is with you while working under the same roof, you can save a lot of time." He then starts listing the benefits of office romance. The teacher asks Yao, "What do you think about this?" Yao replies, "In my opinion, I agree with the teacher. If you break up with your lover, you won't even feel like going to your workplace." Hearing this, Qian gets very angry and leaves in a bad mood. Qian starts searching on the internet what it means if a female colleague has confessed her love and then becomes completely indifferent. The result he finds is that she might be wanting some initiative from your side. You should also make an effort. At this moment, Yao arrives with coffee and says, "Boss, you look very troubled. If you want, I can prepare dinner for you. I also need to discuss something important with you." Qian starts to think that she wants to create a romantic dinner to confess her love officially. He says, "All right, we should have a good atmosphere to talk about this. Why not discover a nice restaurant?" She replies, "Yes, that's right, boss. But I just want to discuss the case." Qian is surprised and says, "You want to talk to me about the case? Sometimes you should solve your own problems." Saying this, he throws her out of the office. On the other side, we see Shi, who has moved to a new place. When there is a knock on the door, she immediately gets worried about who has arrived, but seeing that it's a courier, Yao comes to meet her and says, "What was the need to move like this? You could have shared this with me." She replies, "Actually, I want peace. If he comes after me here or tries to harass me again, I won't stay silent this time." The next day, Wu Jun goes to Yao and asks, "These days I can't contact Shi. Where is she gone?" Yao didn't want to tell him anything because she knew that Shi had intentionally moved. She makes an excuse. Maybe she went on a business trip. But when Wu Jun keeps asking, she finally tells him that Shi has moved her house. Wu Jun thinks, maybe she was disturbed because of me. He says, "Okay, give Shi my message that she doesn't need to be upset because of me. I will never contact her again. I don't want her moving anywhere because of me." Yao was working at home when Qian calls her and says, "I have been really liking your work lately, so I want to treat you to a meal." But Yao replies, "Boss, another day. I am very busy today," and she ends the call. This confirms to Qian that she is playing hard to get with him. One moment she writes, "I love you" on a card, and the next she tries to ignore him. The next day, Yao comes to Konyu that her friend Ting Ting's husband had cheated on her, and the marriage certificate he provided was fake. She realized this when she was about to file for divorce. Ting Ting becomes even more distressed because she feels it was a fraud from the beginning. He made the marriage a fraud and did all this just to get her money, and Ting Ting had paid the entire down payment for the house. Yao was troubled by this case and researched it all night. The next morning when she arrives, she looks very lazy. Bao gives her coffee to freshen up. Qian sees all this. Later, Yao goes to Qian and starts discussing the case, but she suddenly gets a great idea. She is very happy about it and immediately leaves. Yao goes straight to Ting Ting and tells her how she can win the case and get the house. Hearing this, Ting Ting is also happy. Today, Yao looks very happy. She makes a fantastic dinner for herself and takes a photo of it, which she posts as her status. Qian sees the photo and misses Yao's cooking a lot. Qian going over to Wu Jun's house and sitting there late at night. He's not letting Wu Jun sleep and is also drinking. When Wu Jun repeatedly asks him, he's finally ready to explain, saying that it's actually a relationship issue. Wu Jun asks, "Whose issue? Is Liang confessing to you again?" This was about the lawyer's rumor that had spread the day before, and other colleagues were also talking about it, but Qian says, "I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about a friend of mine. A girl confessed to him, but afterward she became so distant that she didn't make any move or give any response, as if it never happened. Woo Jun then tells him, tell your friend that if he didn't respond, that's why the girl might have felt rejected. Woo Jun advises him, what you should do is go to that girl and tell her that you like her too. But Cheon says, it's about my friend, not me. Besides, my friend has a style, a standard. His bottom line is that he never chases a girl. So Woo Jun tells him, if you can't say it directly, then at least give the girl an indirect hint that you like her. Cheon likes this idea and starts thinking about it. The next day at the office, Woo Jun tells Yao that the gift boxes received the other day were actually arranged by a company, and there was some mix-up. He had called and said that some confession boxes were missing, and they might have gone with our gifts. He asks Yao if she knows anything about it, or if any wrong gift might have gone to Cheon. Yao replies, if I had given the boss a confession box, he would definitely have responded, and he would have fired me, which means nothing has gone wrong. Meanwhile, Cheon gathers a lot of courage and then calls Yao to his room. He tells her, I have accepted your thoughts and your gift from the birthday, but I haven't decided yet. I'll let you know after thinking about it. He was indirectly giving her a positive signal, while Yao was very happy and says, Sir, you have made me so happy today that you can't even imagine. I will make you so happy and satisfied that you will be amazed. Cheon listens with a mysterious smile on his face, feeling shy. But then Yao asks, by the way, boss, have you thought about how much to increase my salary? 10% or 20%? Hearing this, Cheon gets annoyed again, thinking, I'm talking about something serious and she's still thinking about salary increment. Before Cheon could explain anything, Bao enters with a case, ruining Cheon's mood. He throws them both out of the room. Outside, Yao starts thinking that the boss has been very mysterious lately, being extremely happy one moment and angry the next. She also recalls that there was a mix-up with the gift boxes. It clicks in her mind that her gift might have been sent incorrectly. She goes to Cheon and asks, Boss, did you like my gift that you received that day? He shyly says, yes, I did. She then asks, what about the card? He, still shy, says, I'm a bit reserved. I can't say anything about it right now. Yao realizes that something must have gone wrong. She secretly goes to his villa and finds the gift box she had kept, which still had the note saying, I love you and I want a baby with you. Before Yao can react in shock, she starts hearing voices. Cheon's parents were coming to his villa today to decorate his room. Yao immediately hid behind the curtains, but after a while, Cheon's mother came in, pulled back the curtains, and found Yao there. When Cheon's mother saw the large box in Yao's hands, she immediately opened it and read what was written inside. Seeing all this, she called Cheon over and made them both sit together. Yao, feeling very nervous, made an excuse to go to the restroom and left. Meanwhile, Cheon's mother started investigating. Cheon thought his mother had found out everything and said, Mom, actually, she was the one who chased me, and she kept conveying her little cute feelings. She cared for me, cooked for me, brought me groceries, and even called me for shopping. On my birthday, she gave me a gift in which she confessed her love for me. Finally, I have moved because of her persistence. When Yao came out of the restroom, Cheon's mother went to her and put a bracelet on her hand, as if giving her blessing like a mother-in-law would to her future daughter-in-law. Cheon also said, I appreciate your courage, and there's no need to be shy or hesitant. I am seriously considering this. Yao tried to explain and thought, it's impossible that the boss likes me. Maybe he's playing a prank on me because I accidentally gave him the gift on my birthday, and now he's taking revenge. She said, Boss, actually, there was a mistake. I asked them to write, make me rich, make me fly on the card, but they wrote something else. I didn't ask them to write that. On the other hand, Woo Jun noticed that Shu was going somewhere and saw Ming's car behind her. He called Shu, but she didn't answer, so he immediately informed Yao. Yao was quite worried about Shu, so Cheon went with her to Shu's house to avoid Ming disturbing her. But they were closer to the building at that time, so they quickly reached there. Shu tried to stop Ming, but he forcefully entered her room. Shu even tried to fight him off and push him away, but Ming attacked her, and just in time, Woo Jun arrived, triggering the emergency alarm outside. As Ming opened the door, Woo Jun entered and rescued Shu. Ming, having been beaten by Woo Jun, started causing trouble, saying, I will ruin both of you. However, Shu showed him the recorded CCTV footage from her room, which revealed Ming's disgraceful actions. Woo Jun told Ming, grab your clothes and get out of here, and she escorted him out. She was very happy to see Woo Jun there. After a while, Yao and Cheon also arrived. Later, Qian dropped Yao off at her house but came back a little later with food. He personally peeled prawns for Yao because he was very concerned about her. After talking for a while, Yao realized it was getting late and said, "Boss, your home is very far. When do you plan to leave? You have to go to work tomorrow morning." Hearing this, Qian got angry, thinking, "You're asking me to leave my home?" and left quietly. After he left, Yao struggled to take off the bracelet that Qian's mom had put on her and then lay down, thinking about whether Qian was serious about her or if he was taking revenge or playing a prank. She thought, "Qian is such a high and mighty person, and I am just an ordinary girl. I shouldn't think like this. How could I be worthy of him?" On the other hand, Qian still couldn't sleep again tonight. Meanwhile, Wu Jun had injured his foot because of yesterday's incident. Qian sends him 2 wheelchairs as a gift. A little while later, Changshu arrives, cooling down his anger. Seeing her, Wu Jun is very happy. He even had slippers in her size kept at his home, hoping she would come over one day. Shi sits beside him and says, "You've done so much for me that sometimes I wonder how I will ever repay you." Wu Jun becomes quite sad when he hears Changshu talk about the sense of obligation. Changshu tells him, "I don't know why, but it feels like I am not worthy of you. You have done so much for me that you seem far above me, and I want a relationship of love to be based on equality." Wu Jun then tries to explain to her that in love, no one is above or below anyone else. It's just a matter of feelings, and my feelings for you are sincere. Life is very long, and we both need each other. After saying this, he moves forward to kiss her, but at that moment, his hand touches the wheelchair and it automatically spins him around. Meanwhile, Yao brings the same bracelet to Qian the next day and says, "Sorry, this bracelet belongs to your mother. Please return it to her. I don't think I have the right to keep it." At this point, Yao gets a call from her mother who asks, "You broke up with that rascal Qian, right?" Yao replies, "Yes, Mom, that's right." The mother then says, "Okay then, a special person is coming to meet you today." That person was her childhood friend, Shoy, and her mom arranged a blind date for her, and she had sent Yao photos of Shoy, which Tang saw from behind. Tang immediately made a fuss, saying that Yao is going on a blind date. Yao messages her mother saying, "I'm very busy today and won't be able to go anywhere," and her mom agrees. Yao takes an early leave from the office and goes home, but soon after, a parcel arrives at the office. Beautiful flowers from Mr. Shoy in Yao's name. The office buzzes with gossip about how romantic her blind date is, which makes Qian very angry. He scolds everyone, "Sit in your places!" When Yao arrives outside her flat, she finds Shoy already there. Her mom has informed him that Yao would be busy and unable to go out for dinner, so she gave him the home address. Yao brings the uninvited guest upstairs. She has prepared dinner herself, which makes Shoy very happy. He thinks, "Look how well Yao manages both work and home." Then he says, "My company's headquarters is here, and I'm transferring here next month. I heard your last boyfriend was a scoundrel. You broke up with him. Shouldn't you think about the future? I'm single, and so are you." As he is speaking, Qian suddenly comes out of the room and says, "How noisy is this guy?" Seeing him, Yao is surprised, and Shoy's reaction is even worse. Yao explains, "This was my former roommate. Maybe he came to pick up some things he left behind, and he didn't leave because it got late." Qian, seeing Shoy, is enraged and decides to ruin the blind date. Whatever Shoy tries to discuss with Yao, Qian counters and belittles Shoy at every turn. Yao feels quite awkward. When Yao eventually gets up to leave, Shoy asks, "Mister, do you like Yao? Or if not, do you have some enmity with her, which is why you're ruining her blind date?" There is animosity between the two, but as soon as Yao arrives, both of them sit up straight. After a while, Shoy leaves and Yao sees him off. When she comes back, Qian's face is still sour and he says, "Today's dinner was very disappointing." With that, he goes inside. Meanwhile, at the office, Yu and Tang both try to hide the fact that they are in a relationship, keeping it a secret. 2 days later, Yao goes on another blind date with Shoy. Qian comes to know about this through Bao and immediately goes to the restaurant where Yao and Shoy are having dinner, which is near the office. He scolds Yao, "You've left so much work at the office and are sitting here." Shoy is surprised to see this and asks, "Is this guy your boss, not just a roommate?" Seeing this, Shoy becomes quite suspicious. Later, Shoy tells Qian, "Work hours are over, so you can't bother your colleague." Both Yao and Shoy say to Qian, "Look, your dressing and style don't match this cheap restaurant, so it would be better for you to leave." At that moment, Qian starts questioning, who is the owner here and who is speaking badly about my restaurant? Shoy feels like he might get beaten and remains silent. Shoy then asks Qian, "Mr. Qian, what is your status here?" Qian replies, "I am here not just as a boss, but as her boyfriend." Hearing this, Yao chokes on her food, and Qian starts telling a long story. He says, "This girl followed me around. She tried very hard to persuade me. I initially rejected her, but now my heart has melted. I had rejected her, and she started a blind date with someone like you. But I am very possessive about my girlfriend." Before Yao can say anything, Shui, already angry, quietly leaves. Yao tells Qian, "Sir, you know it was all a misunderstanding due to that wrong gift. I wasn't chasing you around." But Qian, using his legal language, says, "There are 3 parties, but I am the one who suffered the most, although it wasn't my fault. You gave the wrong gift, someone packed it wrong, so I should get compensation, right? My feelings were toyed with." Yao becomes sad and asks, "Sir, haven't you fallen in love with me?" Qian should have said yes immediately, but he remains silent. His ego is in the way, and Yao starts to think, what am I even thinking? Can someone like him really love someone like me? Meanwhile, Qian tells her that if you want compensation for the wrong gift, you must work for me as a housekeeper for 3 days. She arrives at his villa, where he instructs her, clean the pond, trim the garden, and clean the glass. She's in terrible shape. The villa is very large. In the evening, he tortures her again, saying, "I want the biggest gift here." She exhausts herself playing basketball, but can't win the gift. The next day, he wakes her up early and says, "Come to my villa." The next day, work starts. He makes her clean the floors and deliberately goes into the study saying, "I won't come out for 4 hours." He wants Yao to rest quietly behind, but Yao isn't that submissive. Even though her boss isn't there, she continues working the entire time. By the time Qian returns, she is exhausted and asleep, and the whole house is sparkling. He thinks about how foolish she is, but at that moment, Yao wakes up, and her anger is evident. She says, "Sir, do you think of me as a human or an animal? I came to your company just to become a lawyer. You've made me your servant. What was my fault? I just sent the wrong gift." She gets very angry, and seeing this, Qian also becomes troubled. As she leaves in anger, she says, "I'll quit my job too." Qian panics and grabs her hand, saying, "I like you, Yao, I love you. I just didn't have the courage to say this until now. That's why I kept trying to stay close to you through excuses. I never wanted to torture you." Yao can't believe it. She asks, "Sir, you're not taking revenge for the wrong gift, are you? Do I seem worthy of you or your status in any way?" Qian holds her again and says, "Believe me, I really have fallen for you." Yao blushes upon hearing this and goes home, unable to believe that her boss has fallen in love with her. She wonders how she will face Qian at the office the next day after his confession. The next day, Qian doesn't come to the office at all. He's out for a meeting, and during this time, Yao comes to know that Tang and Yu are in a secret relationship, and there is romance at the office. Yao, who is good friends with both of them, is very happy for them. Yao is working overtime and looks like she will be the last one to leave the office. At that moment, Qian comes to the office. They both look at each other. Qian's eyes seem very strange today, and he looks a bit worn out. He asks her, "Have you thought about my confession and made any decision?" And that's where this part ends. Did you like this episode? Let me know in the comments, like this video, and subscribe to the channel to watch the next part.